This is amazing for the Phoenix Suns and a little bit unexpected. Rookie Ryan Dunn is showing out in the early portion of the season, even earning a spot in the starting lineup for one game, and he really is impressing. Right now, we're going to break all into what he is doing and how he can have a serious impact moving forward for this Suns teams right here on Suns Digest. My name is CJ Pierre. We're going to break down the emergence of rookie Ryan Dunn on this Phoenix Suns team and take a look at how the Suns are looking in the early portion of this season as they are starting out 2-1. Before we get into that, we noticed that about 81% of you guys are watching our videos, and we appreciate that. But you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet. If you want to make sure you're keeping up to date with all the latest Suns news and updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing that we've got cooking for you. We got a loaded show, so let's get right into it as Ryan Dunn is my player of the week. Right now, Suns 3 game in, and the biggest bright spot, the biggest thing that I want to highlight is the play of Ryan Dunn. He is really, really impressing me and really, really impressing this Suns team. And I think he might quickly become a fan favorite with the Phoenix Suns. He really, really showed himself in his first start, going up against Dallas and being the main defender on Luka Doncic. Now, obviously, Luka Doncic still had a really good game, still scored a lot of points, but Ryan Dunn was not shy, willing to take the challenge, wasn't afraid of the moment, and stepped up to the plate to challenge Luka Doncic. He frustrated Luka at times, got in his grill, and show why he is such a solid all ball defender and showed why he was a coveted draft pick in the first round. I think he really, really impressed not just me, but a lot of his teammates and the coaching staff. Kevin Durant, the number one player on the Suns team, even gave Dunn high praise, particularly after that game against Dallas. This is KD on Ryan Dunn. I just love his poise. I love that he's physical. I like that he's actually fouling. I'd rather you be physical, err on the side of physicality, and rein yourself in from there instead of playing soft and trying to move up the physicality. So Kevin Durant showing his praise and his feelings about Ryan Dunn. And Ryan Dunn isn't just doing it on the defensive end. He's really actually showing that he has developed some offensive game. So far in the early portion of the season, I know it's 3 games in, small sample size, but he's averaging 8 points per game coming off the bench, and he's appeared in every game so far this season. There are teams that aren't even playing their rookies. If you take a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have 2 first-round picks that haven't even seen minutes so far this season. But Ryan Dunn quickly finding himself a spot in this Phoenix Suns rotation. He's also shooting 50% from the field. If we take a look game to game, obviously against the LA Clippers, only limited time, 9 minutes. Struggled a little bit, particularly offensively, but really showed out in that Lakers game, making three threes, scoring 9 points, and then the Dallas Mavericks game, which for me was a show out game, shooting three threes, 50% from 3 point range, scoring 13 points. And I really think, again, his defense on Luca, while obviously like Luca still went off and still had a great game, I really think Ryan Dunn showed himself to be, not just some guy in that matchup. I think he was, like I said, up to the challenge, up to the physicality, played physical, and that's going to mean a lot for him moving forward as he moves on with his NBA career. Now, my boy Bruce, he talked about it. I was a little bit skeptical. He talked about the idea of Ryan Dunn being the rookie of the year. And now, after seeing, even though it's only 3 games, again, early sample size, I don't think it's that far fetched. If he's going to get this kind of run and see these kind of minutes, I think he could be up there. Right now, if we take a look at the current odds from FanDuel Sportsbook in terms of who will win the NBA Rookie of the Year. Zach Edey with the Memphis Grizzlies is the number one selection in terms there. But if you go down a few spots, you'll see Ryan Dunn in there, right tied there with Bub Carrington from the Washington Wizards. But Ryan Dunn creeping up the Rookie of the Year stat line. So if you're a believer in Ryan Dunn and you want to, if you got a little betting bug in you, Ryan Dunn, low risk, high reward bet in terms of rookie of the year. Now, obviously, he got that start because Bradley Beal missed the last game, but I really do think Ryan Dunn has shown out and really has earned himself a spot in the Suns rotation moving forward. So, big, big praise for Ryan Dunn. Now, let's go big picture and let's talk about the team as the Suns start 2-1. It was kind of a a seesaw week, an up and down week for the Phoenix Suns. I think there were maybe a little bit more downs than ups, and I think that is something that the league is taking notice of. We'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about this where the Suns are in the power rankings. But 2-1 is 2-1, and you got to take that with what it is. If we go from game to game, the Los Angeles Clippers in overtime getting that win. Now, some people, don't look at the Clippers as a very strong team, especially with Kawhi Leonard being out. But it's the first game. It was on the road, first time in the Intuit Dome for the Clippers' new building. I think that I think you chalk it up to a tough game. With a hot James Harden, and I think that's what that was. Then there's a loss to the Lakers, and the lost lead, the big comeback by the Lakers. That's a little bit of a letdown. You don't want to see that on a regular basis, but again, early in the season, definitely something that the Sun struggles kind of showed out there. And then there's the game against Dallas, one of the favorites to win it, the reigning champions from the Western Conference, and the Suns took care of Dallas. And I think that was a statement game. I think that was the sign that lets people know the Suns are here. The Suns are going to be contenders in this Western Conference, despite how loaded the West is. And I think the Suns showed very well for themselves in terms of their performance in that game. We're going to take a look at the team leaders right now. Kevin Durant leads the team in scoring with 28.7 points per game. Yusuf Nurkic leading the team in rebounds at 10 rebounds per game. Tyus Jones, point guard, point guard, point guard, leads the team in assists. He is showing out really well. The only game where he struggled in terms of the assist turnover ratio was that Lakers game, but right now averaging 6.3 assists. We'd like to see that number just a little bit higher. But I think when you look at the Suns play in terms of what is happening when Tyus Jones is on the court, I think we're impressed. We see the ball moving. We see a lot more moving without the ball from guys like Beal and Booker. And I think that's kind of what we want to see moving forward as they continue to gel and to build up on that chemistry. Bradley Beal leads the team in steals, 1.5 steals per game, and Kevin Durant showing that he is a solid defender as well. He leads the team with 1 block per game. We do know that the Suns' probably biggest bugaboo, their biggest Achilles heel right now is their defense. They're just more lockdown individual defensive players, but they do struggle in the team defense area. So block shots. There aren't a lot of rim protectors currently. Mason Plumlee is probably the closest thing to it, but he doesn't play enough minutes to really be that factor. So the Suns are really going to have to in terms of their defense, really rely on putting teams in position where they need to play iso ball. And I think the on ball defense is really where they thrive in terms of going up against teams that move the ball and cut really well. I think they might have some struggles there, but in terms of teams that trying to go a little bit more ISO, I think they do a great job of guarding guys up, getting hands in faces, contesting 3-point shots, and I think that is something that we would like to see continuing and moving forward as we continue on. If we just take a look at the whole team in terms of what they're doing, a little disappointing to see the point scoring from Devin Booker. I have high hopes for Booker this season. I still think he'll have an opportunity to get it going. But right now, Kevin Durant leading the way pretty heavily at 28.7 points per game. Devin Booker at 19.7 points per game. Bradley Beal, the 2 games that he played, 19.5 points per game, slight improvement from what we saw last year. I think he will continue to improve and he will continue to get better. The injury bug is a little bit worrisome, that he's kind of already missed some time. We'll see what he looks like as we go forward. In the season. And then you also have, Tyus Jones averaging 11 points per game and the 6.3 assists, but again, under 1 turnover per game. That's exactly what you want to see from Tyus Jones. Similar to Monte Morris, averaging 2.7 points per game. 0.3 turnovers per game. I see like Ryan Dunn up there with 8 points per game, and we'll have to see exactly what Grayson Allen looks like moving forward. He only played in that 1 game at the beginning of the season, so we'll have to. We don't really have a great idea of exactly what these rotations are going to look like right now for the Phoenix Suns because there are already guys that are missing time. But I think we'll eventually end up seeing it right now. Getting into some more odds, we look at the MVP odds right now. Kevin Durant is kind of, hovering around the same place that he was at plus 8,000 to an MVP, but he's, basically in 13th place, tied for 12th, really, with Steph Curry. But guys like Luka Doncic right now is the MVP favorite. early MVP favorite, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, familiar suspects, same guys that were up there last year. And then Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Giannis Antetokounmpo round out the top six there. Anthony Davis, strong start to his season. He's already climbing the MVP odds as well. Now, moving on to the injury news in terms of what we're expecting for moving forward over the course of the week. This report coming from Gerald Bourgois, Bradley Beal, who's dealing with that right elbow injury, is questionable for tonight's game against the Lakers. Josh Okogie is still going to be out with that hamstring strain. Jalen Bridges, Ty Ty Washington are going to be on with the G League team, and Grayson Allen will be back in the lineup. He is no longer on the injury report. He missed some time because of some personal reasons, but he will be back in the lineup when the Suns go up against the Lakers. That game is tonight. So that is definitely a good sign for the Suns, and I think that that will be exciting moving forward. Now, in terms of what I think of the Suns so far this season, has it been a little more down than up? Yes, but they're still 2-1. But I think the league is a little bit skeptical in terms of what the Suns looked like over the course of this week, and the Suns did take a little drop in the power rankings. Now, these power rankings coming from NBA.com. It's all subjective. It's all, basically opinion stuff in terms of what was seen over the course of the week. But right now, the Phoenix Suns in the power rankings, seventh, dropping from six where they were in the right before the season started. Um, this is the report coming from NBA.com. A 2-1 start isn't bad considering the strength of the Suns' schedule, and they were at a rest disadvantage when they beat the Mavs on Saturday. Just some of the takeaways about the lineup changes, about how the Suns played small down the stretch with Yusuf Nurkic not on the floor, and they mentioned the injury concerns with Bradley Beal already missing some time. Hopefully, his elbow will be okay and will be ready to go. The Suns have three games this upcoming week, rematches with the Lakers and the Clippers before they take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, in terms of what the Suns look like in the betting realm, about the same. This is where they are on FanDuel Sportsbook in terms of betting odds to win the Western Conference. Still in that fifth position, exactly where they started at the beginning of the season. Some slight changes in terms of where the top are. The Oklahoma City Thunder still the favorites to win the West. Minnesota Timberwolves climbing up to the number two spot, overtaking the Denver Nuggets, who have not looked good to start the season. I would expect the Denver Nuggets to drop a little bit more, particularly by the time the weekends. The Nuggets just don't look good right now. They got worked by Oklahoma City when they played them, who are probably going to be their toughest test if they actually do want to get back into the championship mix. Then there's the Dallas Mavericks, followed by the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers creeping up there, and the Memphis Grizzlies also keeping up. Memphis also looking good now with a healthy roster. They were ravaged by injuries last year. Then the Golden State Warriors, New Orleans Pelicans, and Sacramento Kings. But again, the West is loaded with good teams. There are good teams all over the place. There won't be many easy games. I think really the easiest game that you'll get in the Western Conference may be against Portland, but even then, they have a lot of young guys that can put the ball in the hoop, and they should be able to win some games as well. But right now, overall, biggest takeaways from the first week of the NBA season for the Phoenix Suns: Ryan Dunn. Wow, like I did not expect this coming from him, not this early. I expected him to maybe show out a little bit down the line over the course of the season, but I think he's earned his way into a significant role with this team, and I think that that is huge for the future of the Suns franchise. Again, 2-1 start. Saw some ups and downs over the course of the beginning in a few games there. There was the comeback that loss to the Lakers, the blown lead there, but I still think right now, starting off 2-1 in the first week, I think that you'll take that, particularly in the Western Conference. Let's hope for a 3-0 week here as they take on the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Trailblazers. But that's all I got. That's all just me just spitting off stuff. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you guys think of the Suns 2-1 start, and let us know what you guys think about Ryan Dunn. And do you think the Suns should keep him in the rotation for the foreseeable future? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you want to make sure you're keeping up to date with all the latest Phoenix Suns news and updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing that we're going to have cooking for you right here on Suns Digest. We really appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you for showing out. We really appreciate all the love and support, and we will catch you next time. And go, Phoenix Suns.